to anyone listening, to all the live streams, and thank you for tuning in. By way of introductions, my name is Melanie Roberts-Rajman, also known as Senator Mel. It is indeed a pleasure to be here in Bethel with you tonight. So before I bring the important people to the stage, let me just give you a little bit about these conversations. Now, how many of you have cell phones with you tonight? You have your cell phone out? All right. At night, what do you do with your cell phone? When you finish, you wrap up your day and all like that. What do you do with your cell phone? You rest it down, you charge it, what? All right, you put it to charge, right? Because you need to have it ready and go for another day. So I want you to think about this period in the life of the People's National Movement, the Tobago Council, as our period of recharging. We've had a period of rest. We would have been out of governance since 2021, and we have been charging, and we are very ready to go. Now, you would recall that over the last few months, the Tobago Council would have had a series of consultations around the island. And these consultations were mostly political in nature. It was the party's opportunity to hear from the people in the various communities, in the various constituencies, have an idea of what has worked, what hasn't been working, what went wrong, what can we do better, what we need to improve on, even what we would have done well enough. And based on those consultations, the party, the relevant members, the executive would have regrouped, would have hunkered down, would have looked at its development over the years, and would have recharged and come back stronger. Now, this time around, we're having not consultations, but community conversations. So we've moved away from the political aspects of it, and this is where we reach you in your communities, in your centers, in your streets, even home by you, to find out about what's happening in your community. What has been happening over the past 4 years? What have you not seen? What are the problems you've been having? What are the issues that have not been addressed? What have your grievances been, your concerns, the things that you want to talk about? And now we are creating a forum where, regardless of who you are, regardless of your political persuasion, you are welcome to come here and you're welcome to talk to us. And the beautiful thing about this process is that this then informs the party's plans, the party's process going forward. We hear from you on a community by community basis. We hear from you on a village by village basis. And then we sit down again and we do some more charging up to determine how we can best serve you. So thank you so much for being here tonight. I know for one, I am looking forward to hearing a lot from our political leader. I'm looking forward to hearing from our prospective candidate, and most importantly, because you are the ones guiding this process and because your input is what's crucial at this point, I am looking forward to hearing some very open and transparent conversation coming out from you. We are, and my final point is this, we are at a very important juncture in Tobago's development and in Tobago's existence. We have seen what has been happening on the national stage. We've been seeing what's been happening down the road, and it is scary. And it makes this THA elections, the upcoming elections, even more important for us here in Tobago. Whatever transpires has the impact, has the opportunity, or has the effect of impacting us significantly for years to come. So this is our chance to show up, show out, and really get it right. And I don't want to use the term stand in defense of Tobago, but at this point, we really are called to stand in defense of our island. We really are being called to put Tobago first. And that is the intention of the People's National Movement, that in every single thing we do from here on out, we are going to continue to put Tobago first. Now, I would have mentioned that we have two very important members on the panel tonight, and these will be the gentlemen that you will be speaking to tonight. And the first person that I would like to call to stage is our political leader, Mr. Ancil Dennis. Of course, he's no stranger to us. Mr. Dennis.
Yeah. Team up in the West, yeah. We got this.
And then, of course, The second man of the hour, we have Mr. Sterland Timothy, also known as Big Dog. And I like Big Dog, so I might be calling you a Big Dog for the night.
I cannot wait for election morning. Tell them why.
All right, and before I talk a little bit more about Big Dog, let me just take the opportunity to welcome the minority leader and councillor and Kelvin Morris, and of course, our councillor Petal. And they would have had a very long day. Remember how I talk about standing in defense of Tobago and putting Tobago first? Again, they would have been in the house today doing human service. We thank you. Welcome. It's really nice to see you here tonight. All right, so before I invite our speakers tonight to bring you a few remarks, just a few observations about Big Dog. Sterland, I would not be calling you Sterland, but when you all go to vote, his name is Sterland Timothy, yeah? But for now, we're calling him Big Dog. That's all we need to remember for now. So I reached out to Sterland today, and I said, I'll be hosting the community conversation tonight, and I said, send me a few, send me something about you. Let me get to know you a little bit. So, I'm a person, I like the little details. I like to hear what people have to say, and I listen to what is said as well. And a few things stood out in how he defined himself. He spoke about his father being hardworking, being a handyman. Is that handyman, you said? Carpenter, yes. And then he spoke about his mom in soft terms. I love a fella that knows how to honor their mother. So that was nice. And then, he said... Then he also said to me, I'm a father, I have 2 little girls. And I saw them tonight. I saw them daddy's girls, very clearly so, and I'm a husband as well. And we do like a hardworking family man as well. I think these are the kind of qualities that we are looking for when we're talking about leadership throughout the island, when we're talking about people to lead our communities. These are the qualities that we want to see. And I'll leave it to him to bring you a little bit more about him. But it was just my observation. Even as I sat there tonight, I looked at people coming in, and I saw the way they were greeting him, the enthusiasm, the warmth, and you're well on track. You're in the right place, and this is the right time as well. So very well done, Big Dog. All right, so enough of me talking. It's not about me tonight. So Big Dog, come and take your place, talk to your people, and just give them a few remarks about yourself. Let us know what's your plans for your community, your involvement in your community, and what we should be looking forward for going forward.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Firstly, I just want to thank everyone for making it their duty to be out here tonight and coming out to support this beautiful cause. My name is Sterland Timothy. What you see is what you get. I'm just a humble young fella from the village of Bethel, born and raised into really, really humble beginnings. My both parents are here, Mr. Sterland Timothy, better known as Big Clothes. Mom is also here, Miss Susan Timothy. My beautiful wife, Miss Deandra Timothy. My 2 beautiful daughters, Sarah and Sienna. And my loving campaign manager, Miss Nicole Winchester. And that's me, that's just me. I'm a person that I'm built around love, built around commitment, built around my word. My friends are also here. Everyone are here to support me tonight, and I'm very grateful. Bethel has always been a place that I've always been passionate about because it's my village. It's what raised me. It's the culture I know. It's extended now into a constituency we call Bethel New Grange, which carries similar cultures to where I'm from. And I've always said and sit around and looked at the settings of how we live. And I've always asked myself, one day, I really want to change this place. I think that I could be able to make a difference. And now I'm seated in a position that I know for sure that I can make a difference for my constituency, Bethel New Grange. And I always said, it's a culture that we live in. And sometimes Bethel is mistaken or sometimes has a stigma to it, the way we might do things, the way we might operate. But I want that stigma, and I want Tobago to know, even the people on the live, Bethel is love, Bethel New Grange is love, and we are different. I've been around the grounds. I'm a young person, as you can see. I've been on the streets night after night. I've also been in different avenues where I've been able to express myself. But I've always heard the cry of the youth on the ground. And I want to let the youth of Bethel New Grange know, the fellas on the block, everyone in the hearing of my voice, that your voice will eventually be heard through me, Sterland Timothy. I also want to thank the political leader, Mr. Ancil K. Dennis, and the Tobago PNM Council for giving me this opportunity. The PNM, over the years, have always made a platform for youth. Always. They always groom youth to become great. And I'm an example of that. We have been trained well. We have been exposed to all different levels of education within the political realm. And it's really doing good for us. And I want to send a message to Tobago. Tobago, let us put Tobago first again. We have seen it, we are living in it, and we can change it. And I just want to make that my little message for tonight again. Thank you all for being here. The mic will be open. Feel free. Ask your questions, raise your concerns, and let's work together to make this place number one again. Thank you.
Before I ask our political leader to share his opening remarks, I see we have a few other persons joining us. Let me say good night to Mr. Larry Paul, Chairman of the Tobago Council. I am also seeing my big cousin, Nicole, Vice Lady Chair of the Tobago Council. Welcome. Who am I missing? I'm seeing other candidates, but prospective candidates, but I'll just say a general good night to them for now. And then, of course, our past and the best MP, of course, Ms. Shampa Kajolu. Good night to you. All right, at this point, I hand the mic over to our political leader, Mr. Ancil Dennis.
Thank you very much. And let me just set the timer so I'm able to manage myself.
I'll help you.
It is a pleasure to be in Bethel this evening with all your Bethel boy, Big Dog. Give him a round of applause. Now, I don't often believe in people very often. Right? That doesn't happen to me very often. But I remember when this guy came to be screened sometime in July of this year, I think it was. He came before the screening committee, and I didn't know what to expect. And he sat before the screening committee. Of course, we posed questions, all kinds of questions, some of them very difficult questions about himself, his background, his connection with the community and the electoral district of Bethel, New Grange. And what I saw from him was a certain kind of authenticity, a certain kind of realness. A kind of honesty, a kind of integrity, a kind of passion, and a kind of love for his people here in Bethel and Tobago by extension. And immediately I believed in him. And as I said, that don't happen to me very often. And for me to believe in somebody, it should give you, the people of Bethel New Grange, and I see the young men outside looking through the window, and I would want to ask the organizers perhaps to organize a few more seats for those standing at the back. We have only standing room in Bethel here this evening. Give yourselves a round of applause. But I see the young men looking through the window, and I am heartened by the fact that all of them are here, not necessarily to support me or to support the PNM, but they are here to support Sterland Timothy. So I am telling you to know around the Executive Council table. And I am pleased tonight, I am especially pleased tonight to say that you will have a strong voice when the time comes and you vote to put Tobago first again, and you vote to elect Mr. Sterland Timothy as the Assemblyman for Bethel New Grange. So these conversations are really for us in the PNM to get an understanding of what is happening in the electoral district. It's an opportunity for you, the people, to speak. And in the PNM over the last 4 years, because we believe in people as the people's national movement, and because we understand and accept the requirement to interact with our people as much as possible, we've had several public interactions. The more recent ones before this one was really about talking to our internal members to hear from them on the way forward for this great organization and this great party. After that, actually, we had some discussions on the manifesto, because whereas other political parties are quite prepared to go behind closed doors with 2 individuals at most and put down some impossible dreams on paper and bring that for you as a manifesto, we believe Tobago should continue to be developed as the PNM has always been doing it, from the ground up, in consultation and in partnership with the people. So we heard from you as it relates to your vision, your personal ideas as to what you would like to see for your community and for this island that we all love so much. And we are here again having 15 meetings. This is the 3rd, for you to tell us about your pain, for you to vent. Because we know across communities and across this island, there is in fact a lot of pain. I look around and I see farmers, persons involved in the agriculture sector, who've been abandoned, who've been neglected, and who have been victimized by this current Tobago House of Assembly administration. I look around and I see young people, young men even outside of the building looking on, who have been promised and left hanging, no responses, no return calls, no permanent jobs as promised, no opportunities. I look around and I see people who once had jobs in the Tobago House of Assembly, and because they looked like a PNM, and because they were perceived to be PNM, they were fired. I look around and I see a sense of hopelessness. I feel a sense of fear, even as we have a central government now quite prepared to follow others into very dangerous conflict that can only mean much suffering, not just for the people to be directly impacted, but for us here in Trinidad and Tobago and the region. I look around and I see people who are waiting patiently for better days to come. And I want to give all of you the assurance that the PNM cares and the PNM understands your plight. In fact, the PNM is even sorry for what you are going through at this point in time. We're not a perfect organization, we have never been. But we pride ourselves as an organization that has always put the interests of the people of Tobago first and foremost. And tonight, I am sorry that we did not convince you well enough to support us in 2021 and to avoid all of this pain and suffering that some of you are going through now. I am sorry that we were not able to continue the farmland development program so that some of the farmers sitting here at this meeting and other young men, some of them right here in Bethel, could not benefit from that program, could not receive land to engage in productive agriculture, to help Tobago feed itself and the nation and the region by extension. I am sorry that the PNM is not in office to guarantee opportunities for young people, employment opportunities, opportunities for mentorship, for training and development, for grants to support your business endeavors. I'm sorry that the seniors at this point in time are experiencing the worst health care ever in the history of Tobago. I visited a lady in my electoral district about a month or so ago, and I was told a very chilling story where she suffered a stroke, or what was suspected as a stroke, in the wee hours of the morning. The ambulance was called, and 3 hours later, the ambulance still did not arrive. And by that time, it was 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning. And the caregiver had to, at that point, realizing that there was no ambulance to come, had to run and harass and wake up neighbors to carry that lady, older than 80 years of age, to the hospital. Because this administration spent $17 million to purchase 12 defective ambulances, and nobody is prepared to take responsibility for that. I'm sorry. But I want to give you the assurance that we have a plan and we have a very good team. And Big Dog is part of that team. And going forward, our message to the people of Tobago is simple. It's time to put Tobago first again. And I don't want you to look at Tobago as something abstract and something distant. On a map, you will see the logo with the island of Tobago. But Tobago is you. Tobago is each and every one of you. Tobago is me. Tobago is a fisherman afraid to fish for fear of being bombed out of the water innocently. Tobago is the farmer frustrated at this point in time because they're not getting the necessary resources and support. Tobago is each and every one of you. And in putting Tobago first, you'll be putting you first. So in other words, put yourself first again. Thank you very much.
Thank you to both our PL and to Big Dog. At this point, I want to open the floor. You would have heard from our political leader and you would have heard from the prospective candidate. So I'm inviting members of the audience to come forward, ask your questions, make your comments, make your concerns noted. This is the forum for you to be open, to be transparent, to be honest, as the political leader said, to vent. This is the time to get it out. This is what drives how we operate once we get back into governance. So I open the floor. There is a mic, so once you come up to the mic, state your name and then address your question to whichever member of the panel you deem fit. So I'm guessing all is well in this village. I feel I'm moving then. Everything just perfect. Nobody have any issues then. All right.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
The name is Sterland from Tobago. I want to give the political leader an advice and the PNM. Stop saying prospective candidate. They are candidates now. Because when the other team come, they are candidates. So throw away prospective. Big Dog, you are the candidate. Well, Big Dog, I don't know if this gentleman was your uncle. In the 70s, me and he worked together as straightener. You had a brother with a straightener? The king with the Algon King? Right. We used to work together. And I remember we was in Spring Garden. And we met all the tools scattered away. It could have been me. He ended up taking up the tools and pack it up. And something came out on his hand. I don't even remember that. And he died. Well, Big Dog, today I'm here to support you on behalf of your uncle.
Thank you.
Big Dog, I want to ask you a question. I want to propose something to you first, and then answer the question after. I want you to take the footstep of Mr. Alfred. I want you to take the footstep of Mr. Alfred. The question now, what make you choose the PNM to go through to help the young people in Bethel? What make you choose the party PNM? I mean, you could go somewhere else. But I want to know, or tell the audience the reason why you choose PNM.
I chose the PNM because the PNM is a party of structure and a party of track record. And as a youth coming up, I never was easily swayed by fantasies and different things that might fool other people. And watching the political realm even before I was eligible to vote, I always looked at the PNM once they were in governance levity always reach to the ground level. Opportunities for people always reach to the ground level. And it at a point in time, contractors, local contractors, even young, a little older than me, but still young, was able to obtain and do certain things within the village. And the place was just, for a better term, lighter. People could have survived. You could have lived, you could have do something. Education-wise, we were able to get our education free of charge to our parents. My parents did. My parents was no rich parents to talk about. Me and my sister, we both were able to benefit from free education. And that is something I could never, ever, ever give up. So that's why I chose the PNM for this election. Structure and the respect that Tobagonians deserve, the PNM could give Tobagonians that platform to stand on going forward. That's why I choose it.
Good evening. My name is Natasha Rochford Chance from your neighboring community of Buku. I have two questions for you, if you'll permit me to ask them. What are your top infrastructural development thoughts for your electoral district? And I believe Mount Irving Golf Course falls within your electoral district. What are your thoughts on refurbishing and the development of Mount Irving Golf Course? Thank you.
My top development structure in mind for my area is a better sporting facility down at Montgomery. Because there's a lot of talented sports youths in the village, and the lighting and just the way they treat the environment is not good enough. And I really want to make it a hub for greatness, that when it's fixed properly and it is utilized properly, it will build a better future for Bethel New Grange. That's one. I'm not sure Mount Irving. It's privately owned, so I'm not sure how we can really be able to work together with the owners to make it better. That will have to be a relationship between myself, the party, and Mount Irving.
Okay, good night to everyone. My name is Sterling Timothy. Father Sterland. All right, they call him Big Dog. I don't. I call him Sterland. All right, not for say a question, but just some information on this party, PNM party. Sterland, you have to understand something about PNM. You don't change standards to meet people. People are the change to meet standards. Now, PNM at times will be in this position because of the standard. PNM start this country with people who had nothing, poor people. Start this country, Trinidad and Tobago, and build it to something. The people now want this country because it has something. Always remember, this standard that the PNM have ain't no ordinary standard. And remember that when you get in position, remember the standard of this party. people today, when you watch in general, people don't like standards. People will follow anything. And the purpose of most of the other parties is to get greed, money, and just flair. Just flair. But to build something wasn't ordinary. It started with the poor, ordinary people. And Sterland, you get the characteristic of being a good leader. But a good leader was always be able to be led. If you allow God to lead you, you'll always be a good leader. One thing about Sterland, I want to tell you something about Sterland. Sterland always care about his mother. From little boy, if Susie in the room, at times Sterland will run in and just look at she and say, "Mommy, all right?" and run back out. He always want to check for his mother. You see the people on the side of the road that sell a little water and everything? When we're going to work and Sterland go stop, that you get $5, buy a water. Buy a water. He always concerned about, he said, that's all they're doing. Always concerned. Our people who looking like they're struggling, always concerned. Buy a juice, buy a water. Sometimes you don't drink it, you do it. Now you see size, a very full fella. But Sterland don't eat plenty, never eaten plenty. Sterland take the side of my mother family. Always big. Anybody know Carlos Wilson, Rumi? They're my mother's side of family. They're always big. Always big. I didn't know my grandmother. My grandmother, they said that when she died, they had us to break the door to take her out. That was his size. You know. But so Sterland don't eat plenty. But just naturally, just get that size. I hope to see him smaller, but Sterland, God's blessing and all the best.
Good night. My name is Fanta Carrington. I am a farmer in this electoral district. I am located in Canby. I am a poultry farmer who suffered to the hands of TATCO with the cold storage issue last year, April. It took them months to respond to a letter that I sent to them in April concerning the compromised meat at that time. October is when the then CEO, Mr. Salazar, responded to our letter. In late November, at a farmers' meeting, I asked a question to the Secretary of the Food Security, the Division of Food Security. I asked her a question, if it is we will be compensated for the meat that was compromised. At that time, she said, she don't know about my case. Having been back and forth in the media from April to about end of May, even was greeted by police at one time visiting the facility at TATCO to find out some information. They then had a press conference following that incident where the security, head of security, members of the TATCO board, brought myself and my mother down to the ground, telling a lot of what we would call untruth, lies about the situation, right? To date, I don't even think that facility is operating properly. There's an issue for ice. As a poultry farmer, we need ice to chill the meat before putting it into cold storage. There's an issue still to get meat stored at that facility. When this whole issue was going on, the then chairman, Mr. Ricardo Alfred, would have stated on the media that big companies did not complain and they are still storing with us. I have information that at least one of those big companies are storing, they are storing by yachts. Right? After the secretary told me that she did not know about my case in November, late November, when I left that meeting, I was told that she made a phone call and then she spoke to the people gathered there and said that she just come off a phone call and that lady don't even have a claim in. In January of 2025, I got a call from the acting CEO stating that she saw my letter, which was dated since April 2024. And she said that it don't have a calculation sheet with it, if I can produce one by the following week, which I did. And she said this thing is going on too long, and we are going to make a payment to you all in 3 tranches, starting the very next day. It took place. We got our 3 tranches of totaling to over $40,000. I'm just saying that so that people could know the quantity of meat that we lost. Since then to now, people will reach us in the road and say, thank God for you all, we got paid. So that means other people had losses there as well. I am one of the persons that was lucky to receive lands located at Hope, Belmont area for livestock farming. This happened before the elections in 2021. From then to now, the roadway, so that farmers like myself and the other persons who are allotted lands there, the roadway is still incomplete. Some work was done, but it is still incomplete. The infrastructure, water and electricity, when you're talking about livestock farming, at least the water. But when you're talking about the quantity of production that will be taking place in that area, you will also need the electricity, because people will have cold storage of their own. At this point in time, my dear colleague, Mr. Anil Kunkun, is suffering. He's trying to implement a mega farm, a poultry mega farm. He would have paid for tractor services through tractor pool, excavation services, I should say. He did get somewhere with that. Somewhere. I mean, if the Division of Agriculture has an equipment such as an excavator that can help farmers, why it is he was not able to receive that service in such a way that he could have been further along with his project instead of having to pay private people to come and do excavation services, which would have touched his pocket in a very hurtful way. That service is a reduced service offered by the Division of Agriculture through the tractor pool service. So at this point in time, I would like to ask Mr. Dennis if he can share any light on that project. What was the plan for that project? when you all are elected, this coming elections, what will be put in place for farmers in general? Because there are other farmers that were allotted lands in Friendship. Some, I think I understand, were displaced and put others. I don't want to talk much about that. But I don't know if Mr. Dennis can share some light on what is in store for agriculture and farmers of Tobago.
Thank you. Very, very important question. Now, the project that Fanta is talking about there is a project called the Farmland Development Program. And that project was conceptualized or started because during the pandemic especially, we realized that, look, Tobago need to get back to the point where we once were before Hurricane Flora, of being the food basket of the country and being able to feed ourselves. And every chief secretary, every administration has their priorities, or those things that you will put first. For example, this administration, their main priority is traveling, hopping on a plane, spending taxpayers' money to go to distant countries like Dubai, which is in the United Arab Emirates, parts of Europe like Germany and the United Kingdom, all over the world, with absolutely nothing to show for it. And just by way of information, every time a secretary decides to jump on a plane, one secretary, of course, depending on how long is the trip, but the average trip, one secretary will get about $40,000 in per diem. And then, of course, they usually travel business class. The ticket might cost, depending on where they are going, somewhere between 15 to 30. I've seen cases of ticket reaching as much as $40,000. So that's their priority. They have all of them gone on numerous trips, in some cases with massive groups. So that's their priority, to travel. Their priority is also to finance the pockets of their financiers by giving them all the contracts that should be going to Tobago contractors. Now, during the period 2020 to 2021, when I was your chief secretary, the number one priority of that administration at that time was agriculture. And it was obvious for all of you who were following Tobago's development at the point in time that that was our priority. I am sure you saw the chief secretary himself going to the various farmers, visiting them. Of course, Fanta was one of the farmers that I went to. Excellent project in terms of broilers and layers and so on. Excellent production going on up there in Kambi. But with support in terms of land and other resources, that production can even expand even further and do a lot more for the people of Tobago. There was another poultry farmer by the name of Nyron Orr out of Mount St. George, who I visited as well. another excellent poultry operation was going on up there. I think my understanding now, and I hope I'm correct, is that he has since shut down his farm due to a lack of support from this Tobago House of Assembly. So we conceptualized that farmland development program. And the objective was to develop lands in 5 estates across Tobago. And we were able to convince the then central government, led by Dr. Rowley at the time, to give us in the Tobago House of Assembly, notwithstanding all that was happening with COVID and the large amount of money that was required to keep public servants employed, to give grants to people who were home as a result of the tourism sector being shut down and so on. We were able to convince them to give us $50 million to inject into the farmland development program. So we identified 5 estates. Friendship Estate, we identify there as a location that we can focus on things such as aquaponics and hydroponics and so on, and also some livestock operations, very limited livestock operations. We also identified Indian Walk Estate in Moriah as another location, Lamy Road in Argyle as another location, Goldsboro, that's right as you come out of Goodwood there, as another location where you have a number of existing farmers doing well, but there is still at this time a lot of unproductive land. So the idea was to get all of those unproductive lands into the hands of productive farmers. And of course, the 5th estate was the Belmont Road Estate. The total acreage, if memory serves me correct, was approximately 500 acres of land to be fully developed. In terms of Belmont Road, we had gotten to the point of subdividing the land, identifying the boundaries, and giving documentation to some of the farmers at that location. The intention was not just to give the land and leave the farmers to fight on their own, but to put in the roads, the water, the electricity, just like a residential development. So in a residential development properly done, all you have to do is go in and build your house. And we wanted the same thing for the farmers. You just go in and set up your operations. You don't have to fight up behind roads. You don't have to fight up behind the electricity. Just get your connection and pay the bill. And the same thing with the water. So, in addition to the $50 million given by the central government, we allocated an additional $30 million of our own resources within the THA to mobilize the contractors to develop those estates. And all the farmers, Fanta Carrington, Iron Ore, Kyle Joseph, Anil Kunkun, Joel Jofield, and others, all of them were very excited because they believed at that time that they were all going to get this opportunity to expand their production, produce more, and contribute to Tobago's food security. Right? Of course, I mentioned that project as one of the major projects that was stopped, completely abandoned, completely ignored by this current THE administration. Why? Ask me why. Because it is not their priority. They diverted those funds Because when we left office, we didn't take anything. We didn't take any money or anything like that. So the funds were there. They diverted those funds towards other projects, towards the travel vote, towards the entertainment vote, towards fattening the pockets of contractors and business persons from outside of Tobago. And 4 years later, the farmers are still complaining, still abandoned. Some of them, unfortunately, have given up. They have shut down their operations because they can't take it anymore. And she mentioned the fact that the only thing that has been done in Belmont Road is the roads for the development. And they did not even do that, because those roads were actually part of the Agriculture Access Roads program that was done under the PNM, where we hired local Tobago contractors to develop roads across various agricultural locations so farmers can access the lands. Why did those roads were only just completed last year or earlier this year? They're still not completed, but work started back. When they came into office, the TPP, they stopped all the agricultural access road projects, all, under the guise that they were going to do an audit. The contractors, those poor Tobago contractors, had to demobilize, leave the projects for more than 2 years. Follow me? If you had to demobilize and leave a project for more than 2 years, by that time, material prices may have gone up, interest would have built up on any loans that you may have. How are you then going to be able to make a profit on those projects? You know what they did 2 years after that? Call back the same farmers and told them, go, mobilize again, start the projects, but we're not paying you 1 cent more. After 2 years, no audit was ever done. So in other words, they shut down those projects out of spite and out of wickedness. I have to say it as it is. So they recently started back, and that is the only reason why the roads in that development is being done. I think some work started in Lamy Road that has since stalled. So those projects, just like several other projects across Tobago, the indoor sporting complex named after Bethel Sinclair in Bacolet, the Goodwood Pavilion, the Gosbro Agro-Processing Facility, the Charlottesville Community Sporting Facility, Turpin Bend, all of them just sitting there, nothing happening, totally abandoned. What will the next PNM administration do? Within the first 6 months of being elected, we will restart all of those projects. And every single farmer that were allocated lands, we will, of course, honor those allocations of the lands. And in some cases, we will have to fix some of them. Because my information is, in Friendship in particular, this administration decided that the areas the previous administration allocated for agriculture, that they will resurvey them and allocate them to persons from outside of Tobago to do supermarkets and hardware stores. That's my information. And now I'm saying in cases where that has been done, disenfranchising Tobagonians who were given documentation previously for those lands, we will take the necessary action in the interest of the people of Tobago, and we will put our Tobago farmers first. So, the farmers can look forward to the day that the PNM will be re-elected to office. You can look forward to the day where you will have a passionate Secretary of Agriculture once again from the People's National Movement. You can look forward to the day where the Chief Secretary himself will be fully accessible to you, where he will come to your farms and he will visit you and support you and see what you are doing. The only thing that will be different is that I'll go with our black boots this time. So I say to the farmers, I am, in closing this part, I am sorry for what you're going through. I feel your pain, and I have witnessed the struggle. I visit your friend Fanta up at Belmont Road. I visit him from time to time to see what he's doing without any support from the THA and with victimization. The only reason why that excavator was not made available to him to give him the necessary support on that project is because once upon a time, he spoke up for his rights. And the last thing I'll say on this, I'll stray from the agriculture a bit, is that I know there are a number of Tobagonians afraid to talk up because you're afraid you ain't going to get nothing. But if you haven't gotten anything for 4 years, what do you expect to get between now and election? More than a $500 or $1,000 bribe for your vote when they meet you on the block. Talk up. Open your mouth and talk. See how you feel. Do not be afraid of these people. Because it is out of your fear and out of your silence. Because silence sometimes means what? Consent. And if you continue to be silent and you continue to be afraid to comment on Facebook and talk up on Facebook and tell people that they are hurting Tobago and hurting you in the process, then you are actually giving consent to what is happening in Tobago. So talk up. And all who afraid to come to the mic tonight because you feel you're going to be on camera, here is what. If you are one of those persons, when you come to the mic, raise your hand, whether the right or the left. Cameraman, anybody that raised their right or the left hand, don't put the camera on them. Keep the camera this way. All right? So you have the assurance that you will not be on TV when you come to talk and see what's going on in Tobago. All right? And, of course, don't tell them your name. Because as soon as you tell them your name, Certica or one of them going and pull your file up in the office of the Chief Secretary to see where you have contract and to see who is your family, where your family working, to go and victimize your family. So please, don't say your name when you go by the mic. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. I don't mind. Anywhere it go, it swing. So, I have a question for Big Dog. So, we are faced with persons now saying that they don't see their representatives. How do you plan to stay connected and accessible to your residents after you've been elected?
I like that question because it's something you continuously hear as we walk and interact with different people. They will say, we seen you now. when we know we ain't going to see her again. And that is something that plagued this electoral district for the last 4 years. Plagued it. And I'm promising people that I will not step and follow in that format. I will make sure, I know that he will get busy. We will be honest. He will get busy. But my ground team and the people that I have around me, I will make sure that I command them, make sure that we keep the communication level open to the public. And I will stress on communication because sometimes dealing with situations, some people just want a listening ear sometimes. Just the respect that you hear me will give some people some comfort. So when somebody comes to you with something, it's to respond, it's to try, it's to communicate. And it's easy because I'm a person. And humbleness have a big part to play with it too. Humbleness have a big part to play with staying in connection. I'm down to earth. I've always been that kind of person. I've always been the kind of person to relate to people on their level, whether age, whether however you might think you're living. That's just naturally me. And I am not going to change that. Saying it now might not resonate because some people might say, talking now. But what I want you to do is watch. So those who don't believe it's okay, you don't have to believe me now. Just watch. And I will remain in contact with my constituency extension, wherever my portfolio might be. In the THA, I will remain grounded and connected to the people. Thank you.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Richard Boris. Nickname Zumbi for martial arts and Lionheart for the unstoppable force and drive that I carry. I don't have to raise no hand. I fearless. Now, I've been hearing about the victimization of people who come up and talk and whatever. Victimization for me comes like nothing because I know regardless of what happened, I had to live. And so long as there's a God who would never leave me, I'm going to live. However, even as I was saying with the contracting section, I did a lot of contracts around Tobago. And I thank God for the PNM. Some contract, some subcontract, majority subcontract. Because at times, the tendering is way above my pay grade. So then I have to resort to subcontract. And the reason for that is because some of the contractors that getting the work can't do it. So they have to resort back down to me. Because I went and did the studies to do some of these jobs and things. And I would stand here and I know on TV, so I can't lie. When coming to pipe work and sewer work, I am second to none in Trinidad and Tobago. Second to none. The whole of Cove Estate, I did the sewer under subcontract. Mr. Martin one, them get the contract, they hand it over for me, I did the sewer, the water mains and these things. I seen a lady here from Blackrock, I think it's Paradise Heights. Years ago, they said pipe couldn't run in Paradise Heights because you had blue stones and all these things. And Martin one of them get the contract again, and because of skill, they hand it over give me. Was I give them 3 months to do it. I do it in 3 weeks. The last subcontract I did is in Darrell Spring, under the PNM. I didn't get to finish because from the time the new government got in charge, they cut the contract. So they stopped it half the way. And I did half of the work in 6 weeks. And 2 years passed and it's still unfinished. Right? However, lately here, the residents in Darrell Spring get up and make some noise They send works and CP painting and about 20 of them had started a little thing. But we thank God they started to do something because now vehicles could drive home in a yard. Because there was no road where they towed, who doing construction and things had to tow at least nearly half mile to get home. However, I want to ask a question to Mr. Big Dog. Now, I've heard you spoke about the Mount Pleasant facility and Montgomery facility. Now, I know you have been doing canvassing around. I know that's not the only thing you hear about or see about. I know that there have been cries from people in different areas of your community. So I want to ask of different concerns and cries from the people that you have been hearing about, and what are some of the cries and how you intend to treat with it when you win the seat. I'm not saying if, I'm saying when. Thank you.
Since start walking the constituency, a lot of our local entrepreneurs, when I say local, within the area, crying out. Businesses crying out, it's slow, the local tourism amongst the constituency, the dropping back, and different things. And I want to build back the entrepreneurship aspect of the constituency. Because, let me explain myself. If somebody has a shop or somebody has a bakery or selling food or doing here or doing different aspects of business within the area, and they're not acquiring support, it will obviously go into vain. And I would like, well, this I also putting some needles into Mr. Dennis, because I want to put in place, especially through the village council and these different things, these different arms of the constituency, that we could build a business plan, that we could help young business people elevate, so the natural tourism among the area could be uplifted. Because back in my days when we were growing up, a lot of people used to traverse through Bethel for various different reasons. And now it is redundant. Yes, crime have a part to play with it. But differently to that, it have mechanics, it have lots of mechanics within the area. It have lots of young business people, tradesmen like yourself, within the area that could help better the area, meaning like, okay, if this person have a problem, say I walk in a street, and they tell me a retaining wall is a problem. I want to have teams in place that we could execute and help certain people quickly, on time. And by doing that, I want to make groups with contractors, entrepreneurs, skilled persons, that we could work together so we could have like a one-hand can clap movement. So when we come together and we hear the cries of the people, we want to execute it very fast. Walkways to people is a problem. Access roads to people's homes, you're hearing cries. People literally walking through tracks for years, and we are going to houses with people of age that, not saying they will get sick, but if an ambulance or a stretcher or something had to go down in these areas, it will be a lot of problems. And that is one of the main reasons, even in Bethel, I want people to be able to access their homes easily. And when doing that and having that team in place, and with my help being in that position, we could acquire certain supplies that will be able to help people quickly and bring relief to people, living conditions and these kind of things. That is all I want to say.
All All right, how we looking? We looking good, right? And they're sounding really good. Look at people, I like that. All right, so I know we've been at it for some time now, so if there are no further comments or questions, I want to invite first Big Dog to share with you his closing thoughts and comments, and then immediately after that, I'll ask the political leader to do the same.
Well, in closing, I just want to just let the people know, put your trust in me. I will do my best. I will try my best to change the place and put Tobago, by extension, Bethel, New Grange, first again. And by doing that, I will give you my representation. We need representation in this constituency. We need a voice. I've been on the ground, and that's one thing I could understand. Nobody cannot fool me where the ground is concerned. If you want a better word, the block. I've been on the block. And there is a place that a lot of people won't really know and understand who is getting affected and who is being overlooked. And it's the simple things. There are simple things. I've been walking, and people just need it. I just ask them for a pallet of blocks. I just ask for even a fridge, even different things. And people just waiting. And to me, I'm saying, okay, you cannot acquire a pallet of blocks to just drop by somebody. Some people telling me they have the material. They just want a little assistance. They just want a little team. People not really asking for nothing much. We have roads in deplorable state. We have programs that we benefited from as young people growing up in Bethel, New Grange, redundant. Police youth club, redundant. We have different things that could come back on track that could make a difference. And I just want to assure the people that we will bring those programs back on track. Young mothers, young entrepreneurs, senior citizens, we ain't forget you. Love for you is the same. Senior citizens used to be enjoying day outs and different things in this constituency. My granny passed on now, yes, but I know when she comes, she said, the kind way up country tomorrow, she has Jersey, and she gone through the health center, through the clinic, they will have trips. Bring back those things, health care, bringing health care to people. These are things that need to come back in Bethel, Kiambe, Sherwood Park, Sterland, Tobago by extension. And the public, we have the power. We could change what is taking place. Don't be afraid. Stand up. The time is now. Stand up. Stand up. Don't be afraid. You have the power. You have the power right here, right here, right here. Do what is right. And let's fix Tobago and make Tobago first again. First again. I thank you.
Very well said. Sterland, so before I allow the political leader to make his closing remarks, we have a test for you. I know we said that the floor was closed, but your constituents want to hear a little bit more from you, so I'm opening it again. All right?
Good night. My name is Yuan Baines. All right? I want to speak on behalf of the young men in Bethel. Young fathers like myself, right? I want to know, what are your plans for us to help us grow and build so that all children will also be safe and well taken care of, just like everything else that you plan on taking care of, right? And I want you to know too that you have your boys here with you, your team. Or you come in and show yourself. Right? And I must say that Sterland has been more than a brother to me. He has always been there for me, has given me good advice, never one day lead me wrong. And I must say I appreciate you, and I respect everything that's happening for you right now. And I just say, I want God to continue to guide and bless you. I thank God for your parents as well, because I know without them,
young fathers. I was also, you go ahead, Tristan. And then Trishard, you go ahead.
A pleasant night to everybody. My name is Trishard Daniel. I was a young man that got shot in the village last year, accidentally. And since I was deprived of a food card, it was cancer. Sterling has been the one that helping me from since then to now. So, well, from the beginning, when I was doing my surgery, this lady was at my home. On the day of the surgery, she was home at my house, right down behind there where I take a tractor going on behind there. Shamfa, I'm my schoolmate. All of we go to school together. Remember Montgomery School by the ice cream mango tree? That was your breakfast. Mr. Dennis, he also have been assisting me also. All I can say to anybody, this team here is the best team. Right now we need help in Bethel. This center is so old that it needs to renovate. And who is right now in charge and doing nothing to Bethel? Look, same thing as the brother was saying there. What we doing for the youths, the fathers like me? When I get shot, my girl train home crying, want to know where daddy is. They didn't do that in hospital. My foot was half and half. Shattered completely from knee right down. We had to help each other in this village in order for it to reach where you had to reach. I don't know where to find this person to run this village here from. Because when he came at me, I wanted help with my house. I assure you, sit at my place. And this man tell me he's no hardware, he can help nobody. I said, well, come up my place. Where you take the responsibility of Bethel for and you're not helping nobody, it's better you leave and find somewhere else to go. Simple food card, no assistance. So right now, I'm struggling still, trying to make ends meet. I'm not supposed to be driving, but I'm pushing myself to drive because I have no choice. But I began begging people again for them to throw it back in my face and say, well, we got a food card already, how much more you want again? I don't want to hear that again. So, Sterling, I know it's 2 foot shy, but put your 4 foot forward. And do the best we could do for Bethel. Bethel need help. The youths need help. Them boys around the block need help. The family need help. Everybody need help. And you the only person I say going around helping people. Nobody else is doing it. Nobody else. Even simple, if you don't have no bread in your house, this man bringing bread in your home by you. He renting a car and bring the bread direct home by you in front of your door. When I didn't have his, he helped me. So if he could help me, he could help everybody else the same way. So have a good night. The night is your night. Keep it up.
Well, to answer, Rian, thanks, Trishard, no problem. I will always continue to be like that. That is just me. That is just me. I was a young father as well in Bethel. Teenage dad. And looking for opportunities, looking for a way out. One thing with this area, to answer Rian directly, there is a lot of skilled young men in Bethel. A lot. And I'm talking about certification skill men, registered business skill young men in this area right here. And under the leadership of this party, I can assure them that policies and employment will be on the high list in this administration going forward. And I will encourage all of them to don't be afraid. I will consult with them and meet them on their level. Have a discussion with them. Find out where they're skilled. Find out what they want to do. Nobody is taking the time to reason with them. You are a mason. He might not want to be placed to do carpentry, or they might come and say, put down your name for this. They might put you in a position where you might not really be able to give your best. You might just be making $1, but you might not be able to give your best because that is not really a field. So we will attack it from the point of view of putting you guys where you are skilled, so you will be able to excel. Because a lot of people wake up every day and just go to an 8 to 4. They don't really like what they're doing. And sometimes that does diminish production. Because you might be in a seat typing, but you want to be on a roof. Or you might be just getting up and going and pulling a rake morning time, but you want to be down in an engine, because that is where you skill. Is an AC man. That is where you skill. And I also will put things in place, especially through my office, where publishing and social media and getting business advertised and getting business registered, I will walk them through those steps. They need to be walked through those steps. You know, sometimes, hey, they're giving away grant up, so, you know, for business, you know. And they might say, boy, me ain't going in no office, boy, big dog, boy. Me ain't in a paper thing. I go bring it to all you. I will help all you. I don't want all you to have no excuse. And I just say, let me do the thing right. And I just tell them that. I could talk to them like that. They're my boys and them out there. I just tell them that, although you know trouble, don't handbug the thing. Let the thing flow. And once everybody put their hand in it, we could change the place and everybody get their employment. Mr. Dennis here. I know you're hearing me. Put policies in place so the young people of Tobago to get employment. It is a serious issue. Please, and fellas, don't worry, listen. We get this thing under control.
All right, PL, you hear Big Dog make his plug, eh? So it's over to you now.
Well, I don't think I could see anything after that. So, all I will say is that you have Sterland Timothy, one of your own, a.k.a. Big Dog, coming up against the pastor or 10 others. It's a no contest. It's a no contest, right? This is heart, this is passion, this is youth, this is energy, and this is real commitment. And that is all I have to say. Yeah? You did an excellent job.
Bethel, how are you feeling? Ah, we're loving it. Very well done. So to everyone who came out tonight, to everyone who made a contribution, to everyone who has given not just the People's National Movement, but Sterland their vote of confidence. The onus is now on you. What happens when we leave here? We've heard so many people talk about the issues they face in the communities. We've heard so many people put their faith in Sterland. So we get out there, we introduce him, we speak to the people, we spread the news, we get the plans of the party out there, we get the plans of Sterland out there, we mobilize the ground. This time starts now. So I'm encouraging all of you, get up, get out there, and do your part. Now, in terms of these community conversations, the next place that we're journeying to is the beautiful village of Mason Hall. The best village in Tobago, really and truly. Big up Mason Hall one time. Everybody take now. We're going to Mason Hall on Saturday evening, 7:30 p.m. at the Mason Hall Community Center. We'll be there with Kwesi. Same exercise again. So we encourage you to come out. Thank you again so much for this evening. Thank you for putting Tobago first again. Have a pleasant night and get home safely.
Hey, we got this. Hey, hey. I cannot wait for election morning.
Feel the power, power.
Tell them what? Tell them what?
DJ,
Touch it, bring it, baby. Touch it, bring it, baby.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Somebody touch me, somebody touch me, somebody touch my soul. Somebody pray to me, Jesus. Somebody touch my soul. Somebody touch me, somebody touch me, somebody touch my soul.
Who, me?
While I was praying, pray to me, Jesus. Somebody touch my soul.
life too sweet, I can't complain. The only constant is the change, and we go touch the road again.